Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather stress forecast for March 25th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also have a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our patient weather storefront support the activities of patient weather. Looking at the surface map for Wednesday, we can see there is just a little bit of low pressure trying to develop up in Montana and a massive warm front hanging south all the way through Nebraska, Missouri, down to the Florida Panhandle. Looking at our vitality index, or that measure of each of the individual weather elements that might cause some difficulty, and you can see we do have something actually going on here in the Pacific Northwest. A little bit of unsettled weather in the Dakotas, but lots of unsettled weather up the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley Great Lakes and stretching eastward all the way into really reaching Pennsylvania. Looking at pressure change, we'll have rising pressure in the Pacific Northwest, mainly Washington, Oregon, and of course up into Vancouver. A little bit of high pressure or rising pressure here in northern Maine, but massive low pressure or falling pressure from the Dakotas into the Mississippi Valley, actually Missouri up through Minnesota, across the Great Lakes and strong across the Great Lakes and into the Ohio Valley, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and basically trying to touch into extreme western New York and western Pennsylvania. But the main area of north-central portion of the country falling pressure. Temperatures will be warming nicely on Wednesday, although cold temperatures will be following that again shortly, and those warm temperatures are especially up and down the Mississippi Valley, up into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. Dew point temperatures again rising significantly and for the eastern half of the country, and notice on the vapor pressure you can see it's especially strong up and down the Mississippi Valley, Missouri up into Minnesota. Interesting, as we start moving into more summer-like temperatures, you can see we're starting to pick up instability here along the Gulf from the Texas coast all the way across Louisiana and then stretching right about through a little bit north of Tampa. So we're starting to see that instability develop right along the Gulf. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you'll see we have that risk of migraine, spotty up and down the coast of California, becoming far more significant in Oregon, Washington, and stretching across northern Idaho into northern Montana, and of course on into Vancouver. You'll see that we still do have that little risk of migraine, or a small area of migraine here in northeastern Maine. The real risk for Wednesday will be asthma and arthritis, and that really covers the eastern two-thirds of the country. Most significantly, however, along this area from Missouri clear on up into Minnesota, Iowa, northern Illinois, and extending across the Ohio Valley. Note that there is a nice area without that asthma and arthritis risk, especially along the Gulf, basically Dallas down to New Orleans and across, and then really southern portions of Florida, but there will be at risk of asthma and arthritis here in southern Georgia. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you heard, tell us where you're located.